No, what'd you send me?
It's a clip of old school Mercy. I got play of the game because I got like a quad res or something. I don't remember.
I mean, I know what it used to be.
I miss the old, not like the old res, but like when it was like you quickly rest
Two
somebody.
reses?
Yeah. I'll tell the story of tonight. Let's have another round tonight. Let's have another round tonight. Raise a
Let's have
glass to
another round tonight.
freedom. Something they can never take away. No matter what they
No
tell
matter
you.
what they tell you.
Raise a glass to the four of us. Tomorrow there'll be more
Tomorrow there'll be more of us.
telling the story of the night. Ah!
Ooh, I got the new Doomfist emote.
And you can never take away. No matter what they tell
No
you.
matter what they tell you.
Another round.
Have another round tonight. Let's see.
Another round tonight.
I want winged victory so bad.
Raise a glass to freedom. Tell the story
Something they
of
can
the
never
night.
take away.
I just wanna have a Sombra.
So Jess, is this the entire Valentine's Day special? Just you singing Hamilton?
I guess I'm so lonely. I forgot what love is. I'm just a gawk at the students in the comments just to watch them talk.
Oh, just to
Take
watch
Philip
them talk.
Schuyler, the man
Take
is
Philip
loaded.
Schuyler, the man is loaded.
But little does he know that his
but
daughter's
little does he
Peggy,
know
Angelica,
Angelica,
Eliza.
Eliza,
Wait, I think I've thought of an
in the
actual
city.
way. Angelica, work, Eliza, and Peggy. I thought of a way that we could like actually celebrate. Ah!
What? Talk about ships.
Reading crappy fan fictions. Downtown, like I said, you're free to go.
I actually really like that idea.
Because you weren't
I'm gonna look
here
up.
in my other fan fiction episodes. Angelica.
Yep, I'm gonna look up some crappy fanfiction.
Consolidate our defenses on the point. Teleporter is under attack.
Fanfiction, here we go. Oh my gosh, someone sold an Overwatch fanfiction book.
I bought one.
Aligning defense system.
Technically, it was a comic,
Yeah,
and
but
worth every penny.
it's actually between a rock and a hard place.
What's
Sombra
it
makes
about?
it's about Sombra.
Barrier is on its way.
Ooh. See,
Sombra makes Hannah an offer she can't refuse, literally. Now with her hands tied up, Hannah ends up harboring a fugitive terrorist inside her base of operation. Having jobs as an Overwatch hero and a streamer was hard enough. Now she's forced to push herself beyond her boundaries and keep Sombra out of sight. Between Sombra, constant teasing and mocking around, Hannah strives to survive.
look around, how lucky we are to be alive right now. Look around,
See if I can get the full thing.
how lucky we
I want
are
the
to be
full thing.
alive right now.
History is happening,
It's happened to be in
and
the
we just
greatest city in
happen.
the world, in the greatest city in the world. So Thomas Paine. Some men say that I'm intense or I'm insane.
All
Want
right,
a
Jess, you wanna
revolution?
hear-
I want a revelation.
Jess, stop. Just stop. I'm about to read a crappy fanfic.
I'm created equal.
Jess, do you
Yeah.
want to hear the crappy fanfic or not?
I mean, here, some examples of what usually. But my Sombra, he did so well. Basically.
Jess, do you want to hear a Sombra and Diva fanfic or not?
Okay, as much as that interests me, listen. So I've done a few of these. Usually it's like Ryan and Torbjorn, but I'm thinking if Core ever gets online, that we could write a Torb and like a Torb Reinhardt fan fiction, but like it'd be like we write it. It's like I say a sentence and then you say a sentence.
No, Jess,
Yeah.
this has 4 chapters.
Now
Are you
I don't
sure
have
you don't
time
wanna
for
hear
that.
It has 4 chapters. I can't
Oh
believe you
my
don't want
God!
to hear
Tell
this.
us to the pot. Hey, awesome bloodshed or not a solution.
Alright, how about Anna and Reinhardt? I think this
Oh
one's
wait, that
shorter.
one would like actually be cute.
Alright, this one's pretty short. I mean, it's not pretty short, but it's about a fourth of the long as the other one. It's basically like 3 pages.
I'm gonna go Tracer.
Do you want to hear it or not? Cause
Yes, I do. It sounds like it'll be precious.
Anna was
This
looking
Congress
at her
does
data
not
pad,
speak
her
for
frown
me.
getting deeper and deeper as she reads the news. Terrorist attacks, Omnics out of control. Companies hacked, governments unable to keep the streets safe. And Overwatch mentioned the list of threats of them all. Sometimes she would like to get back to the UN Council and punch them in their faces, as she would soon enough. If only she could make her mind about leaving. She kept delaying her departure, her rifle forgotten against a corner. Overwatch fall was all over the news few days after she woke up in the hospital. One-eyed and presumed dead, the 2 commanders were MIA. Presumed dead among the many, many casualties of the explosion at the headquarters. It shook her to the core to think so many friends had died.
Wait,
but there were
wait.
no tears.
Wait,
What?
is it like doing a storyline where she lost her eye in the explosion?
Yes, it is.
Well, now I can't immerse because it's not real. It's not real in this fake world.
How about Farah and Mercy? It'll really hurt me inside to read this out
I
loud.
don't want to read
I
that.
don't
No,
ship it.
find a Genji and
I don't wanna
Genji
hear it.
and Mercy one.
I claim this objective. Stand with me.
I don't want to read Hanzo and Mercy, because that would hurt me.
No, no. I don't like that. She belongs with Genji. Actually, okay, I heard Lucio say, "Hey, it's Valentine's Day. Anyone need a mixtape?"
For shame!
Yo.
Talon's day off. Blood and Honor, a Genji origin story. I want fanfic. I don't want this. Let me see if I can find a better one.
See, like I'll leave you to like reading the like cute ones, but like the real like the stark smutty ones, I'll have Core read those.
Okay. Shipping fix. Ooh, Genji and Mercy. Can I read it? Let me read it.
Wait,
Running with
wait, who's your OTP? Like, who do you ship the most in Overwatch?
Genji and Mercy.
Oh, in that case, yeah. I thought you'd be looking for a Lucio and Diva one.
No. Angela Ziegler raised her shoulders, snuggling deeper in the large, soft scarf piled around her neck. The winter winds kissed her cheeks, bringing new fallen snowflakes to dust her lashes. She quickened her steps, snow crunching beneath her boots. Winter in Paris was a sight to behold.
I was like,
She
we
did
get it, it's
enjoy the
winter.
clarity that summer brought to the city, but the image of the black skyline covered in a blanket of white was a thing she found most calming. Oftentimes, she'd sit in the round window of her flat with a mug of steaming hot chocolate, gaze at the magnificent view. Hot chocolate sounds good about now, she thought, rummaging around her pockets for her keys. Unfortunately, she wouldn't be able to sit in her window today. She had to finish writing the last article on the nanobots she created a year ago. It had been a month since she'd published the last one, and it was about time she kicked herself into finishing the next one. Angela could practically hear the booming voice of her beloved grandfather bouncing around in her head. I buy you this flat in Paris so you have a place to vacation, and you spend your time there working, Angela. She couldn't help but smile fondly at the memory of her last conversation with grandfather Reinhardt. Opa, you know I love you, but you know how busy I am. I just can't stop. Too many people are waiting
She's
on my
not.
research.
Stop.
Research be damned, Angela. Jess, please stop.
I feel
I'm
like
telling
you
Torbjorn to
keep
skip.
wanting to say Angelica, don't you?
I do, but it's Angela.
Angela.
I'm telling Torbjorn to reschedule you a jet for tonight. Pack your things. The car will arrive around 6 p.m. and I better not find one scrap of paper in your luggage. She sighed, switching the phone to her other ear. All right, Appa. I don't know why it says Appa. And or Opa? Whatever.
Oh, Opa. Yeah,
Angela
it's
said,
Opa.
yeah, Opa. Yeah, that's what I
No.
thought. Opa.
Although that's
But-
that's like an Asian term for a grandfather, but so I don't know.
She's talking to Reinhardt right now. Angelica. Not.
Angelica.
Angela had said defeated. This was almost 2 weeks ago. He called every evening to wish her a good night, to argue without her about working, to make sure she had enough money to buy whatever she wanted. Don't be pinching your pennies either. No granddaughter of mine is going to go around worrying about money, especially not while she's in Paris. She'd sent him pictures of all the cute clothes she bought herself last week, and he'd heartily approved of all of her choices. He doesn't need to know about the article, she told herself, unlocking the door to the building and making her way to the elevator. I'll just tell him I wrote it. I'll just tell him I wrote it on the way
Go
back
to
to Switzerland.
audible.com/Messica to hear this. Speaking of Audible, today's Audible is sponsored by Audible.
Angelica. Angela shifted the bag of groceries she was holding so she could press the button for her floor. As the elevator began its ascent, the doctor tried brushing the snow off her clothes, only to find the spare flakes had already melted in the heat of the building lobby, leaving her hair and shoulders damp. I'll have to throw you in the dryer, she said to her gray coat. The second she stepped off the elevator, she stopped at the moment. She didn't know why. Angela looked around the marble elevator hall. Nothing appeared to be out of place, but for some reason, the hair on her back neck was prickled. She had to make a conscious effort to begin the walk out of the elevator hall and down the hall to her flat door. Each step she made felt heavier and heavier, as if a veil of foreboding was thrown over her. She gave herself a good shake and said it was nothing. It's just the cold air creeping down her spine. This buildup is way too much.
It is.
Nothing was out of place. The passage looked just as it always did. What was this sudden feeling of alarm? She unlocked the flat door and burst in to prove to herself she was worrying for nothing. Angela got a quick look of utterly demolished residence before someone grabbed her from behind and pressed a chloroform-soaked rag to her face. She was then raped. I'm just kidding, that's not what it says.
Oh my god. Oh no.
I'm just kidding, that's not what it says. It says she put up a brief feeble fight before everything went black. Then, that's when it says she was raped.
Oh
I'm
my.
still just kidding. Don't believe anything I say.
Is this play even real?
I swear if it actually...
Or not play.
It actually is. Do you really think I'm making this stuff up? Do you really think I just knew that Opa meant grandfather in some Asian country?
Oh, fool.
My ultimate is ready.
The sensation Angela recognized when she came to was nausea. Then belligerent ringing in her ears was so loud she couldn't tell if someone had stuffed a bell tower into her skull, or if she was in the center of an aggressive German choir. Concussion more than mild, I'd say, she concluded. She couldn't pinpoint the center of the pain that accompanied the ringing, but made a mental note to Inspector Head later. They must have hit me hard after the chloroform. And then that's when she
How did
couldn't
she know-
calculate how long she'd lay there. She couldn't calculate how long she'd lay there. But when she finally felt stable enough to open her eyes, Angela was greeted by a world of gray and black shapes. It was all a
Me.
blur, but guessing from the texture of the surface her face was pressed to, she couldn't guess that their assailants had put her against a metal table. Her wrist felt frozen, but she didn't yet have the strength to move her head to look. Angela could barely make out the sound of a man speaking somewhere nearby. She couldn't hear a word above the ringing. An exhausted puff of air escaped her lips. She willed the image she was looking at to come into focus. After another undeniable long length of time, Angela was able to raise her head a little. Her movements were sluggish, almost cautious. Her face was stiff and crusty. She added blood loss and skin abrasions to a mental list of injuries to check up on. Her wrists were handcuffed to the table. No wonder they were so cold. She sat in an uncomfortable chair with her torso leaning over the table. A softly lit white lamp bore down upon her from above. The walls of the small room were barren and hard to make out in the darkness outside of the lamplight. It is hard to discern what color they were, but Angela thought she could detect a few drops of blood spattered on the wall to her right. The brilliant chrome table surface reminded her of the ice, further adding to the chilling sensation of the room. Angela felt she was chained in a meat locker. You looked confused, startled. Angela looked straight ahead. For the first time, she noticed a well-dressed man sitting opposite of her. His shining black hair was pulled back into a high ponytail, with two thick locks left out of the frame. His tan, stern face, dark winged eyebrows sat above a hooded, russet eyes. A thin-lipped mouth frowned beneath a sharp, arched nose. Angela could sense a raw power leaking off his massive shoulders, as if he knew he could crush her between his fingers. If he felt like it, his suit and tie were impeccably pressed and well tightened. In interrogation, she thought, baffled. Why? What troubles you? His resonating voice seemed to wipe away a foggy film from Angela's mind. He sounded calm, almost quiet, like a panther, not wanting to startle its prey.
Black Panther coming in theaters soon.
She recognized his accent, Japanese. Am I in Japan? For a moment, she wasn't sure if she could speak, or even could. After a brief pause, she croaked.
No.
Where am I? I sound so weak, she thought, distinguished. Where do you think you are? Angela wasn't sure what to think of that. Who are you? He seemed unfazed by her willingness to answer his question.
Why wasn't
Who do you think I am? The man's words set Angelica on edge. She could feel the cold sweat running down her neck.
When did Angelica Schuyler get here?
And everyone.
Did I say Angelica? I'm sorry.
¿Extrañaste?
It's Angela. Who do you think I am? The man's words sent Angela on edge. She could feel the cold sweat running down her neck. I don't know. His face didn't move, but she could detect a glint in his eyes. Amusement. You know exactly who I am. She frowned,
I know what you are.
lips parting a little. She'd never seen this man in her life. She was sure of it. What game is he playing? I'm not sure if I know what you mean, Angela spoke slowly, deliberately. She didn't know who this man was or what he wanted, but she'd be sure to stay as calm as possible. I can panic later, she thought. Now is the time to find out what I can. There was an arrogant sneer in the man's voice. He buys you all these expensive gifts, treats you like a queen. Did I say Angelica again? No, I haven't even said Angela.
I know, but because you have been, it's like, and then bam, Aaron Burr was there.
Treat you like a queen. And who are you trying to tell me you don't know where you are?
The
Who am I?
Queen?
Or what do I want? Angela blinked. What? I don't have a husband or a boyfriend or anything. What could he be talking about? I think you might have confused me for someone else, the man chuckled. I do not think so.
Well, he put
Who do
a
you think
lot
I
of
am?
effort into
Angela
kidnapping
asked
the
after
wrong
another
person.
confused pause. Angelica Ziegler. His confidence was unwavering. Well, he's got that right at least. Not knowing what else to do, she asked, What am I doing here? The man looked even more amused now. You know the answer to all these questions you ask. I assure you, I don't. A glint faltered a little. A crack of uncertainty in his bronze porcelain resolve. Shall I spell it out for you? Please do. He gazed at her a moment before standing and beginning a slow walk around the room. Last month, he began. My agents arrived at the agreed spot to complete a trade with your people. For a hefty price, we were to hand over the personal records of Japan's top officials. Several things caught her attention in that statement from him, but she focused her energy on stabilizing her breathing. One thing at a time. One thing at a time. My people? Precisely. What for? Both parties agreed that to no questions asked. I assumed it was for nefarious purposes. You handed over information like that for money? She said aghast. What if they get assassinated? That man shrugged. A few of them have been in a thorn in my side at one point or another. I would be glad to get rid of them.
At one point or another.
I've been... I didn't mean to give that accident. That was completely accidental. I've been kidnapped by a Japanese mob, Angelica realized. She felt her heartbeat falter, panic, pounding on the edge of her sanity. Did I say that again? I'm so sorry, Angela. Angela,
Ziegler.
stay calm. Angela. Stay calm, Angela. Stay calm. Keep your head. It was a while before she said anything. So what happened? The man stopped to Angela's left. His back to her. She could see his fist folded neatly in the small of his back clench. Your people took the information handed over. Less money than was agreed upon. Injured my agents and fled the scene, he snarled. Who knows where they escaped to, but I have no doubt the information ended up in the hands of your superior. And who exactly is my superior? Reinhardt Wilhelm. Alright, this is where it gets weird. The hover cycle pulled into the garage with its telltale
Hover cycle?
boom.
I'm sorry, it just made me think of the hoverboards that don't hover.
Its driver dismounted, tossed his keys and jacket to the attendant, and moved towards the door. Welcome home, Master Shimada, the attendant said with a deep bow. Afternoon, Kaido, the driver said. The attendant could sense a suppressed growl in the young master's voice. Where's Hanzo? I need to talk to him about firing inquiry, whatever that says. The man does not understand the angles I look best from. Master Hanzo is in the interrogation room, sir. That caused the young master to stop. Don't tell me he warned. Kaido nodded. They got her last night. The young master theatrically buckled his knees and threw his head back. No. Why did he do it? He groaned, grabbing his hair. The master is very stubborn, sir. Young master and let out a string of curses. She's going to bring more trouble than she's worth, he growled. Marching through the door and across the yard of Shimada Castle, nearby clan members and servants all saluted and bowed when he passed, but he was too angry to stop and greet them all properly. It's below the castle. The young master bursted through a door in a room filled with computer screens that showed the feed from all of their surveillance cameras around the castle. The three workers were currently clustered around one screen that showed a live feed from the interrogation room at the young master's arrival. They all hopped to their feet at once to bow. Save it, he said. All three men smiled to themselves and took their seats again. What has he gotten out of her? Nothing. By the looks of it, one man said. She must be more stubborn than we anticipated. Or she doesn't know anything, the young master deadpanned, leaning into close to observe the screen. Hanzo stood at the side of the table. When he moved closer to his empty chair, a woman came into view. She was handcuffed to the table and looked like she was on some sort of cut on her forehead that had been profusely leaving a trail of crusted blood down the side of her head. He remembered the conversation he'd had with Hanzo last week before he'd adamantly insisted this woman would know a thing about Reinhardt's underground activities. Had Hanzo listened to him? Obviously not. Why isn't the audio on? Hanzo told us to keep it off. What'd he do that for? Probably doesn't want anyone backseen interrogating for him.
I don't know what the storyline is for this.
It's fan fiction. It's not real.
I mean, neither is Overwatch.
The one of the men flipped a switch and the speakers immediately crackled to life. The woman's jaw dropped in awe. My grandfather? She speaks in English, the young master said, more to himself than to the others. The woman scoffed. He's no criminal. He's a philanthropist. He doesn't steal people's money. He gives his own away for free to those who need it. He'd helped countless charities, run an honorable business. Did he ask for a resume? The young master said, earning a snicker from the workers. Where is she from again? Switzerland. She probably speaks some Japanese. Why didn't he open with that?
What? Wait, what?
The young man.
Where's she from? Switzerland. You know, the widest place on Earth. She probably speaks Japanese.
The young master observed his elder brother wave his hand. It's all a front. It is the nature of these things. The woman didn't reply for a moment. All right, she began. Let's just say my grandfather happens to be a mob boss like you. Where do I fit into this picture? Hanzo moved to take a seat without a word. You still haven't told me where I am, who you are, and what you want with me. He's not gonna like that tone
I think it's
you're
supposed
using,
to take
sweetheart.
place in the
young
past,
master cautioned
like
with a
before
grin.
Genji became a cyborg.
Back online.
It is.
The payload is stuck.
Okay, that's what I thought.
We're using you as leverage. You're ransoming me. I want some money, Miss Ziegler. You're going to help me get it. Well, if that isn't something straight out of a movie.
Why is Hanzo a soprano? I want something.
Well, if that isn't something straight out of a movie, the young master straightened, took off his gloves, and threw them onto the table. I'm going in. He'll roast you, sir, one of the workers cautioned. I can't let her be the only one pushing his buttons. He called all over his shoulders as they moved back to the door. He'll start to forget I'm the only one who can do that. Angela couldn't believe what she was hearing. She didn't believe a word of it, not in the slightest. Is it Opa? Right? Opa?
Yeah, it's Opa.
Boss? He must be out of his mind. In her disbelief, her panic was momentarily forgotten. She found herself asking, what makes you think he'll pay you? The question I'm wondering is, when do we get to the actual fanfic?
Exactly, I'm so bored.
I'm just gonna keep reading it. As Wilhelm's last living family, the man said, getting comfortable, I can guarantee he'll want to keep you safe. After all, he does appear to spoil you fiercely. A flat in Paris, designer clothes, a private facility to fund your research? What was his name for you? Pazoline, wasn't it? I don't know if I just pronounced that. I'm probably offending every single person from Switzerland right now.
I mean, that's
yeah,
what fanfics are for, you know?
The Swiss probably don't like me right now.
Did they really like you that much before? You know,
Nope.
ever since the
Just broke up.
event.
That's true. Angela felt the heat rise to her cheeks. How did? I'm not sure. He doesn't want to lose you like he lost your mother. She froze, the sweat on her face and felt like scorching oil. The man fixed her with those dark eyes. Yes, we know all about you, Miss Ziegler. He folded his hands on the cool tabletop and leaned forward. I would recommend you give your full cooperation in this process. With a bit of luck, you can go home with as little damage as possible. The heat that had been so quick to rise just a moment ago drained from Angela's face like dirt washed away by summer rain. She was grasping at her thoughts, trying to figure out what to say, when a door behind her burst open and a man yelling, Hanzo! Watashi wa... Alright, that's some Japanese, I'm not saying that.
Omaya Mashindaru?
Watashi wa anata go garuba o yamada Tokoro
You're so Caucasian.
no suwa o soru
You're too white to say any of
hitoru
these.
go rimasu ka. I butchered every single one of those words, and if there are any people who speak Japanese out there listening to this, I greatly apologize. Angela and the interrogator jumped at the same time. Her body was too sore to turn around quickly enough to see the intruder, but judging by the sudden fire in his eyes of the well-dressed man, she could tell he wasn't happy. The intruder had spoken too fast for her to really catch what he said. The well-dressed man threw back a string of angry Japanese at the intruder. The intruder sounded intrigued, and he well spoke again. "Oh, are you now?" he said, and if Angelica translated correctly, she could imagine a coy smirk. He imagined a coy smirk following that question. A figure appeared to her left,
I had an original idea
and she
for
looked
the
up
thumbnail, but I
into
think
the
I'm going to
face
switch it
of
to
an
Angelica
extremely
just like
handsome
Mercy,
man
just looking
who
really
was even
confused.
more well dressed than her. Jess, I'm reading. She looked up to the face of an extremely handsome man who was even more well dressed than her interrogator. His hair was the first thing she noticed about him. It curved back from his forehead in beautifully groomed, soft, pointed locks, black at the roots and emerald green at the tips. Crested like a bird, she thought, bronze-skinned, lay over marvelous, defined facial features. Oddly enough, his eyebrows were dark, thick, winged, just like her interrogators. His eyes were deeper, though a more soothing shade of brown that reminded Angela of chocolate. And framed by a border of professionally applied black eyeliner, he wore a black button-down shirt with the top two buttons open, giving Angela a view of his exquisite neck.
Fun fact: this is everything that happened in Satisfied.
A pair of black
You
slacks,
strike me
nice
as one who's
dress
never been
shoes,
satisfied.
and a silver necklace of which hung a pendant of unrecognizable design. The mob symbol? Angela wondered. I said Angela, by the way. And who
Real
might you
proud
be?
this time.
He smiled. The satin voice of a man who wooed thousands of women with one word came out from behind those diamond
What
white
word is
teeth
that?
and
I'm
elegant
confused.
lips. Melting Angelica down to her bones, she just stared at him, trying to find her voice. Her headache had miraculously disappeared. Where does he fit into the mob, she wondered, awestruck. He looks like a model. Her interrogator had no problem finding his voice. Snapping at the intruder of a vicious tone, Angela snapped out of the green hair man's spell, kicking herself in the butt. She'd never understood what they were saying. She was so distracted. Car, we're reading smut. But we haven't gotten to the smut yet. Don't worry, we haven't gotten to the smut yet.
This is my Valentine's Day special, so include your audio. And since everyone except Core is lonely, we're reading fanfiction.
You're supposed to pick your favorite ship. Core, I'm not done yet. Please stop.
Well, I've been streaming for like 45 minutes, but I mean that's what I like. That's why I stream for so long, so I can get lots of content.
You can probably just cut it up. Core, I'm not done. I'm not done, Core. The black and green-haired man replied, not taking.
Oh wait, I need to catch him up on what's happening in the fan fiction. Basically, it's like in the past, and the Shimada clan kidnapped Mercy, and and then Genji's like, "Boy, you better not," and Hanzo's like, "Boy, I will."
The black and green-haired man replied, not taking his eyes off Angela's. Shoot ended early. She thought he'd say, shoot, like a photo shoot? Angela thought, dumbfounded, so he is a model. The interrogator sighed, obviously frustrated. Genji, this is. Let the lady speak for herself, Hanzo, the green-haired man said, holding a hand out. He turned back to Angela and smirked gently. Go on, he whispered. Jess, why'd you put us in a game?
Oh, I didn't know you joined. I thought that was Core. You can
No.
just go ahead and leave so that you can continue reading.
Angela. Oh wait, no. Angela, Genji had heard his name flowing off his accent tongue vividly.
My
Angela.
God.
Tenchi. Angel, she thought. Hanzo rolled his eyes. Is he flirting with me? Is this part of the interrogation?
Nobody keeps
Hanzo,
calling
what
her
is this?
Angelica,
Genji
so
asked.
this thumbnail is going to be like Angelica and like Mercy.
Wait, is this a Mercy Hanzo fanfic?
No, it's a Mercy.
No, it's a
Genji
Mercy
one.
Genji fanfic.
But so
Genji
he
pled
keeps
motioning
accidentally saying Angelica, like as in Angelica Skylar, and so the thumbnail is going to be Angelica in like Mercy's outfit and looking real confused.
And you should have Alexander Hamilton in the back, just like where did you go, my dearest Angelica?
Wait, where do I put the? Do I put a comma? David's ruined by comma.
Put a comma. My dearest Angelica.
My dearest Angelica.
Hey Jess,
Yeah.
can I read one
Hey, Core?
next? I got a really good one, I guess you could say.
I will protect the innocent.
My original idea was that we each sort of write our own fanfics, like as like at one sentence at a time.
Yeah, we're doing one sentence story, but it's gonna be fanfic.
You guys want to like write a fanfic with finish the story, like finish the sentence?
That's what I
Oh
said.
yeah, I prefer. No,
Oh,
but
that's
like
what,
one.
that's what you meant.
You tell one sentence at a time.
Yeah, no,
Hanzo,
but like
what is
I
this,
tell a
Genji asked
sentence,
for-
and then Jack will continue, and then like Maverick will carry on that sentence, and then Jess will carry on that sentence, and we like write a fanfic.
Yeah, that's
That's
what I
we
meant.
said. Hanzo, what is this? Genji asked, furrowing those majestic eyebrows of his and pointing to her handcuffed wrist. Hanzo ignored him,
Ooh,
rubbing his
50
temples.
Shades of Shimada.
Oh,
Hanzo ignored him,
I would
rubbing
read
his
that
temples.
so
Will
fast.
you leave now? He growled.
My dearest Angela.
Genji pleaded, motioning to the whole of Angela and raising a hand to his heart. You cannot chain an angel to the earth. Angela mused as Genji
Right,
straightened
what is
and
this?
whistled in the direction of the door. How poetic. He commanded, release these handcuffs at once. No! Hanzo shouted,
Well, now all my
rising.
fantasies are dead.
Angela barely understood his next string of Japanese, but it sounded like Genji needed to get out before Hanzo threw him out. He and Genji argued zealously for a moment. There were too many syllables for Angela. There were too many symbols for Angela to follow along, but as soon as she sensed a lull in their dispute, she cut in. If it's all the same to you, they both froze, their eyes fixed on her. I'd like to go now. When no one made a move, she steeled herself and continued, I believe I suffered some injuries at the hand of my kidnappers, and I'd like to retire to address them properly. Her voice
hey
was
Maverick, can you
quiet.
pause for a minute?
She knew, no, Core, stop. She knew
Oh.
she was breaking. I can't take much more. Hanzo frowned. I am not finished with you. Let her go, Hanzo. Genji cut in. You've tortured her enough for one day. Let her rise. The heat from Hanzo's eyes scorched Angela's cheeks. I don't take orders from you. You should realize by now that I don't have the information you want. Angela offered, almost pleading. Genji grinned. He looked at Hanzo with that innocent smile and said, I like her. You like anything with breast, grumbled Hanzo.
Me.
Wait, okay, now that you paused for a minute, I gotta give Jess a bit of a pointer on how to YouTube.
Yo.
Tits in the thumbnail.
Oh.
Bigger tits, bigger views.
In that case, I'm gonna be the next PewDiePie.
Back online.
I thought you were gonna say in that case I better just put core on all my thumbnails.
Oh, that too. Oh, yeah, how do you think I'm gonna be the next PewDiePie?
Angela felt
With
the
me,
redness
the
return
star.
to her cheeks. Not true, Genji offered reasonably. I don't like you. Oh. Oh.
I felt
Oh.
that.
So Core, basically Genji or no Hanzo just said you like anything with breast, and Genji said, "Not true, I don't like you." She had to resist snorting at that comment. Genji flashed her a look out of the corner of his eye and winked.
And I thought
He
Kate
knows,
and I
I
had a
understand.
strange relationship.
She thought her blood running cold. Wait, do we have practice tonight? Jess, do we have practice tonight?
I don't think so.
Yes.
Core, you wouldn't know.
Yes, I would. You know why? Because I'm Jesus.
She had to. Angela looked back at Hanzo and immediately looked away. If looks could kill. Out! He barked, looking like he could spit fire at any moment. Genji threw down his hands and rolled his eyes. Fine, fine. He reached down and cradled Angela's chin in his warm hand and telling me to get Tenchi.
Why is Maverick actually good at
quirking
reading this?
into a crooked but somehow genuine style and struck from the room.
You know, Maverick, you wouldn't be so good at reading fan fictions if you read the Reinhardt and Torb one I read.
Dude, I will read it. If you give me a script of it, I'll read it.
The fanfiction is called he wants the T as like T as in for turret.
Angela Ziegler kept keeping it real even after being kidnapped. What a woman. Genji, Hanzo finally got that perfect interrogation mood going, and you ruined it!
Me!
When Genji first comes into the interrogation room, his line is supposed to be Hanzo, I need to take care of Krieg, and you... Where did you leave the crowbar?
Why was that
I know
actually
Google Translate's
Jess?
not very accurate, so I'm... Oh, this is
I have the
This is,
perfect
a
interrogate
summary of
me
what
whenever
just
I try to
happened.
film anything.
Ooh, this chapter is called Moonlight Rendezvous. Oh, I can't wait to read this one.
Wait. Can we do the sentence thing?
Alright, I'll come back to this.
Okay.
Wait, you've been reading that fucking fanfic for almost an hour?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Maverick, I applaud you.
Okay, well, first
I'm
we'll
not
start
even
with
done.
Core.
There's still 3 more
Then
Maverick,
after
chapters.
Core,
Maverick, that's
Maverick,
just
and then
making
after
me
Maverick,
even more gay for you.
Okay?
Alright, so who's starting?
This is just making
Core.
me even more gay for you.
Core,
I
you
mean,
have
hey,
to start
what?
off a fanfic.
Okay.
Core, you have to start off a fanfic. And it has to be Overwatch characters.
Oh, it has to. Oh, I was gonna put myself in there.
I mean, you
You
can
can
be
be
a
in it.
character in there, but you can't be like you have to make a ship.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, wait, don't tell us, don't tell us, don't
What
tell us.
ship should I go with?
No,
No,
don't
you
tell
just
us.
start,
You start
and
off
then
the story.
when it gets to like when the character like you, whichever feels right. Angelica, Skylar, and Genji.
Oh,
I'm kidding. Wait, why am I? Oh yeah.
so this is a fanfic called "The Fist of My Love," written by
I
Core.
wonder who it's about.
No!
It's actually about Reinhardt. No, I'm just kidding.
It's
But,
about Tracer, obviously.
No! Dang it!
Should I call him by his first name? Question mark.
Start.
Wait, do we use their Overwatch name or their first name?
Just use their
Whichever
Overwatch
you
name.
want.
I don't know how to start this.
Core, yes you do, don't lie.
Okay, do you want me to start instead?
Okay, can you start instead?
Yeah. Okay.
I have no idea how to start off.
Okay, but I get to pick
these.
the ship we go with.
Oh.
So
No! I'm trying to.
I'm gonna go with
trying
one
to no scope.
like everyone will be okay with. which is
Genji and Mercy.
yeah, Genji and Mercy. Okay, so
Everyone
this is gonna
ships
be
them.
like an AU of
I don't want another Genji and Mercy.
but like it'll be sort of like, oh, I just got Genji and Mystery Heroes. It'll be like like a Halloween AU where it's like he's an Oni and she's like the witch. Okay. It was
No.
vegan Mary, I wanna die. He remembers it, but in a strange way. The same way that you would have a memory of something you did when you were 4 or 3. I guess
When you
the
were
beginning
4?
of your life is kind of how you would also remember
Okay,
the end.
Maverick, shut the
I guess that's
No.
how you remember the end, very similarly to the beginning. He remembers bits and pieces. He remembers being confronted by
supposed to be a
Hanzo.
sentence long. You're doing like a fucking paragraph.
Hanzo getting upset about something. He can't remember what. And then he remembers darkness. So much, just black. And then a light, and then a witch. Okay, Corey, your turn.
That was a good paragraph.
Thank you. This isn't my first rodeo, okay? I'll just say that.
Would you be depressed if I told you I wasn't listening to a single word you just said?
Yeah, because I actually thought that compliment was genuine.
Okay, then I won't say it.
Maverick,
So
were you at
as
least
we
listening?
left off,
No, I was playing. I'm playing I'm playing Widowmaker heads only. Headshots only.
I'm pretty sure we just made Jess depressed. If it makes you feel any better, I got like 8 carnations today at school.
Dude, I got nothing. Nobody
Neither did
likes
I, because I'm homeschooled.
Wonder the funny thing?
it. Just you got something from your dad.
I
Maverick,
did,
wonder
I
the funny
actually
thing?
did.
Maverick.
What?
They were all from boys.
Okay. Do I have to, like, say it again?
Yes, you do.
No, I have to start it so that I can pick the ship.
Yeah, you have to let Core start it.
But, he said he didn't know how to start one. That's the entire reason why I was starting one.
That doesn't matter. I can wing it.
Core
All
always
right.
wins it.
Okay, so this ship is Doomfist and Roadhog. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. They're siblings. That would be wrong.
I don't know when to start this stream. I don't want this to be crazy long.
Then
Just
make it.
can't you?
Just end it
Didn't you
here
say
and
you
make a
learned
new
how
one.
to edit? Didn't you say you learned how to edit?
I thought I did, but the system I was working isn't working correctly.
All right, Jess.
Actually, never mind. I have an idea. So yeah, just continue.
Why
We
don't
can
you just make
mine,
2 separate
no,
videos?
Jess, we can make mine 2 parts. You can end this stream, start a new stream for this.
Yeah,
I mean,
that actually gives me enough time to think of a start.
I can highlight. I can just I just divide it up in highlights.
No! Make a separate video so I can think of a start.
Well, you can take this time
Jess,
to think
please
of the
just do
start.
that.
Okay, I'm taking
I'll
this
just
time
not
to think
include
of the
this.
start.
Why can't I pick the start?
Bum 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 ba-da-dum bum. Okay, then that means I get to pick the ship.
But that's not how this works.
Then
Whoever
you
starts
don't
gets to
get
pick the
to.
ship.
Okay, fine. What
Bum,
ship?
bum, bum, ba, ba, bum, bum, bum,
Um,
bum, 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 ba, 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 bum,
let's
bum,
do
bum,
a.
bum.
So this is like a really big crack ship. Are you ready?
Oh God.
Sure.
Are you ready? I don't think. I don't,
Yeah,
I don't think you're ready, but here
if
we go.
it's Shimano's,
Ew!
I'm
Just why is that even
gonna
in your
Shimano
head?
myself.
Doki doki.
I mean,
Okay,
Doki
so
Doki
the ship
Literature
will
Club.
be. Yes. I'm gonna.
So the
So
ship.
the ship will be. Okay.
You don't even know what
Just
ship you're
tell
gonna
us.
want.
Tell us.
I actually don't.
What the
See,
heck?
because the really, really big crack ship I was thinking of. Gollum, fuck. Okay, so the crack ship I was talking about was well, you see. Wait, who was it? Oh yeah, Reinhardt and Diva.
Are you kidding me? I refuse. I won't.
Kill yourself.
That's exactly what I'm not going to do it.
Like, no.
Also, who the fuck is echoing?
It's Gollum.
No, I just got rid of my echo because I got a new mic.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, I have I have overlay. It's Gollum.
Yes.
No one can hide
Yes,
from my
better.
somewhat.
sight. I might need this later.
Enemy turret ahead.
That moment when Mercy's new skin has boob jiggle physics.
You're gay. You won't even be excited about this.
What do you mean I am?
I'm talking about Gollum.
Much better.
Jack is triggered because I got 8 carnations at school today and they were all from guys. Jack is triggered because I got 8 carnations at school and they were all from guys.
What's a carnation?
What incarnation?
Well, you see, it's a piece of paper that people write like a message to you and put like to this person from me, and then they like wrap it around a flower and give it to the person.
What in tarnation?
I got 8 of them from boys.